What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Plain Jane Cars, and this is a Plain Jane Cars podcast. What's up, Tristin? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
The last podcast you did, you were excited. This podcast, you're feeling good. You just trying to switch it up?
Maybe a little bit.
I ain't mad at you. So how's your week been? What you been up to?
Nothing. I washed my disgusting car today. I hadn't washed it in a long time. I just didn't feel very motivated.
I need to wash my truck. I ain't gonna lie. It's funny right now in Houston, we got pollen. It might surprise some of our family and friends on the East Coast, but
Yes.
tree pollen going crazy right now.
Just a layer. Whole car yellow.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Earlier today, we were watching a little bit of Cars Across Texas, a local podcast, a local YouTuber.
Yeah.
And he does car meets, and I mean he's done a build series on a couple of cars, and he covered a takeover. Well, I don't think it was a takeover. It was a meet that had some takeover activities, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he had this huge disclaimer that he started his video with, which I thought was interesting because I get it, right? He doesn't want to support those activities, but I mean,
he is by making a video.
You need the views, right? I'm a YouTuber. I understand. I'm not chasing views, but I can understand what it is. People like to see that stuff.
People like to see a lot of stuff. That doesn't mean it needs to be posted.
I disagree. I think if when he was posting the takeover stuff, his views went crazy and he gained a lot of subscribers, and then when he stopped, it stagnated. So it's saying something. The algorithm even likes it. As crazy as that sounds. Yeah. We're all disciples to the algorithm. I mean, I didn't really mean to talk about that, but I just thought it was interesting because, I mean, I am a creator and I don't really look at view count, but YouTube does give you like tools to see like how long people are watching, how many people are watching, whether it's your subscribers, non-subscribers, and what those percentages are. And it's pretty interesting when you're like actually trying to make content that is good content.
Yeah.
Doesn't really track the way drama does.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just drama, and it's not in general. It's not good for people in the car scene at all to give any publicity to that stuff, even though it may give you money or if you're views and stuff like that. So I think it just comes to weighing the two. Do you value the views and the money you get more than enjoying the car scene over time and having one? Because it'll get more restricted.
It's difficult. Well, two things that really stuck out to me what he said. And shout out to you, Drew. I don't know you personally, know you enough to speak to you. Same thing with me. I watch and support him. All of the local YouTubers. I'm not going to name everybody because I did name him, and I don't want people to take it negatively or something like that. But anybody in Houston that's doing YouTube, I support them because one of the things I've always found interesting is how large Houston is as a city, how large the car scene is, and how unknown it is.
True.
And I don't think it has a bad reputation at all. Little story time. So we did a car show. It was a year and a half ago now. So it was like the end of 2021.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
WekFest. We call it WekFest. I might even put their logo in here.
Because it looks like WekFest.
It looks like WekFest. But I think it's properly pronounced WekFest.
It's WekFest. Yeah.
And it's a car show, I would say, that has probably one of the better tuner car show reputations of that whole circuit. And I support all of them, but they tend to bring out what I call like real heavy hitters.
Yeah, it's like my favorite car show we go to.
100%. Well, I mean, you like car culture too because of the drifting.
Yeah. Yeah,
but non-drift, only inside. But
like just a show to like pay and walk around, like it's really good.
Oh, you get your money's worth. It's like $25. I tell people, come, you're going to get your money's worth because you're going to see some.
Yeah, it's good.
They came, and I don't know if they'll come back to Houston because one of the things they said.
I saw their.
I'm pretty sure they
didn't have them on there.
They gave I was offended as other people was because I do feel like I'm a part of the scene, but there were cars there that honestly weren't show worthy. Yeah. Right. And the only way they can judge the cars to allow them into the show is, Instagram profile and submitted photos. Yeah. And we know a car is much like an Instagram model. Yeah. So you can make it look what you want to look.
Cracks to the bumper, stuff hanging off that you didn't see in the picture.
And they said, "Hey, look, guys, if it came off cocky, but I understood what they said as I rode home and thought, they were like, look,
Yeah.
Have you guys seen like our show? Have you seen our San Jose show? Have you seen our Southern Cali show? Have you seen the caliber of builds that come to our show?
Mhm.
Texas needs to step its game up. That's what the organizers said to us as like show car entrance. And it wasn't to everybody, obviously, but there was 25% of the cars there probably.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, but you're like, why? Why is this hanging?
Why would you even
why
show
is
it?
this literally broken? Why is it cracked?
But I think that's the Houston car scene, though. And I think that's the Houston car show scene.
It look a little ghetto. Yeah, I was going to say the shows we go to, it happens often enough that I'm like, maybe it is like a thing.
It is a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it judgmentally. I'm just saying if I look at it objectively and have an honest opinion about it, and I'm being real, every show I show up to, there are some cars I would say, I'm not judging them, but I would say I would feel inadequate. I mean, there's times where, I didn't show Plain Jane because I'm like, nah, it's not ready.
Yeah.
It's not ready. There's other things that need to be done.
Yeah.
But not everybody feels that way. And it brings me to this phrase that has been memed now.
Yeah.
Respect all builds. Now, that saying started out meaning something completely different, but now it's like a meme. Right?
Yeah. A little bit.
I think about it like in the same perspective of when people say misery loves company. That used to mean something completely different than what it means now, right? Now it means
it's like negative, like you want to bring people down with you. When in reality, you just want people you
misery
love
loves
around
company.
you when you're
you need
sad.
support when you're sad, right?
Yeah.
It's and I think respect all builds has become the same way. We got. I want to thank Sean because Sean submitted this. I put something on my Instagram. Say, hey, give us a topic to talk about, and he put respect all builds. Because me and Sean, we think very similarly. I think when it comes to things, and maybe because we're both old crotchety men, grumpy, but I respect all builds. I do.
I would say so. Yeah, I agree.
But I think certain things belong in their place.
Yeah, I see why people can struggle with it. Like, I think there is definitely a spectrum when it comes to people in that term, respect all builds. Like, there's people that are like, they don't care what is happening. It could be unsafe. And they're just like, that's them. And then there's also people that are like, nah, not everything is a build. Just because you modify something doesn't mean it's a build. Which I kind of lead a little bit more to that side. Like, just because you modify something doesn't mean it's a build. But whatever you do to your car, I respect it because that's you.
Right.
That's you.
I think there's a time and a place for everything. That's kind of how I think about it. It's kind of like biblical too, right? Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a Bible thumper, but I think there truly is a time. I think there is a time and a place for takeovers. Excuse me. Park and Chills in Catalina
is not it.
It's not that time and it's not that place. I think there's a place for cars that are in progress that you want to show. Because you probably got your engine bay, or you got your interior, or you got your lighting, your suspension, your trunk. You got something done, and you're in progress. But to put it in like an indoor car show, legit.
Yeah, not a show. That's what a meet I would think is for.
I'm just saying, but in that phrase of respect all builds, I don't want to memify. I think there is some validity to respect. Let me tell you something. I have been through the spectrum of modifying cars. So when I see people that are in progress, it really makes me think about cars that I had that I was mismatched wheels, all kind of stuff. I just, and sometimes it's all about what your budget allows and all that kind of stuff. 100%.
That's why I'm kind of like, I don't have any credibility. So I can't say I'm not going to respect all builds or judge somebody when I'm like, my build is 100% going to be on a budget. As safe of it, safety and everything, but it's 100% going to be on a budget.
But whose isn't? That's where I come from. We're not trying to be judgmental. We're just talking. But that's where my perspective comes from on respect all builds, right? I'm on a budget. I got a kid in college. You know what I mean? I have bills. I'm like, you know what I mean? I have some friends that are extraordinarily wealthy. And I would say that I'm relatively successful, but I don't have an unlimited budget. I just don't. And I guess I still understand that. So when I see somebody with a set of wheels and they're lowered and the wheels may have some curb rash and the tires may not be the best and they're on eBay coilovers, I'm like, man, keep doing your thing. That's what I say to him. Keep doing your thing, because I was there and still am there.
Yep.
It took me 3 years to build a BMW. I would love to say that it was done in 6 months, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Even though I redid it like 3 times.
If
I would have did it once, it may have taken me a year. Yeah. But my point in saying that is, I don't think that I refute the fact that phrase has become a meme.
Yeah.
And people laugh and they're like, oh, you respect all builds. It's like, well, as long as those people are being respectable,
yeah,
they deserve respect.
That's kind of how I feel.
Because everybody that says that in a meme way, I kind of look at them a little different. I'm like, oh, so your car was always perfect.
Yeah.
And you've always driven the best of the best. And there's some people that are like that. Mm-hmm. There are some people that, they may have grown up with successful parents and their first car was like, there was some guys that I really liked, young guys that were in the Texas M Club, young, like your age. And they were driving the same car that I was driving, that I got when I was 30 something. Mm-hmm. Not that it was my first performance German car, but still we're driving the same car. And they're like 18. Modifying, doing the same mods that I'm doing. So there are people that are born with their first car being an extraordinarily nice car, and their parents have a garage full of supercars. There are people out there that are like that, and I can understand they may have a different perspective.
And I also think that those people equally can deserve the same respect as people like me who are like, my parents are successful, but that does not mean that they're going to be building paying for. He's not going to be paying for anything having to do with my car. But I think
it's so much more awesome when you do it yourself.
Yeah.
It's so much more awesome. That's what I wanted to do. I could fund it, but it's like, I think it'd be cool if you do it. Because it's yours.
Yeah,
it's yours.
100%.
Totally.
But I think those people, like you said, he was like in the M Club. So it's like, I don't.
And I'm not judging them. I'm just saying.
No, I see. But I'm saying
there's a spectrum, right? I'm saying those people, I can understand them looking at somebody that is their age that's driving a V6 Charger with underglow and factory wheels and say, dude, what are you doing? Like, because it's all perspective.
Different perspective.
But people that have been there before, don't forget where you came from. That's all I'm saying. I don't forget where I came from because I'm so close to it. I just don't. And I'm not judging the people that are that way. I'm just saying we're talking about respect all builds. I respect all builds. I can look at, I don't want to make it seem like I'm not special, but I look at every single car that I see at a meet and I see something in it. And that's because I love cars. Mm-hmm. Every car, even cars. We were looking at, I was walking around.
There's cars I don't necessarily like and I'm like,
I get it.
100%. There's cars that I've come to like more because I've seen the thought that somebody else put into it.
It was a Genesis at a car show recently.
Yeah, I'm like,
what a wide body kit. Mm-hmm. And there were things that weren't right. Mm-hmm. They just were. But when you step back and I looked at it, I was like, it's dope though. And I had to say it like, I wouldn't build a Genesis. I wouldn't wide body a 2-door Genesis.
Nope.
It looked good though. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, keep doing your thing. That's what I tell you. Keep doing your thing, man. For sure. Like, that is cool. Would I wanted to see it in WekFest? No. Mm-mm. But they weren't at WekFest. They were at a meet, the Eat Sleep Car meet. Right. It's interesting to see how the Houston car community operates and how it is. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not a native Houstonian, so I'm not like partial to it, but I do enjoy elements of it because it's so diverse. I mean, from swangers to hypercars and everything in the middle, old schools, big lifted trucks. Like there's not one. I mean, it's a humongously diverse car culture, but there's just a few people that make it difficult. And I think that is a microcosm of culture in general. Yeah,
I agree. I don't know. I think sometimes when it comes like we were saying earlier, the respect all builds thing, I think there is a sense of credibility depending on your build. So when you have a build that's of quality and people can see the thought that you put into it, you gain a bit of credibility and people listen to what you say more. And so when those people that may have supercars or hypercars say something about respecting all builds because they have a different perspective, especially if there's somebody my age, like you said, that's driving the same car as you, it can definitely put the thought into people's minds because they have credibility. with other people. They're
Sure.
like, they have a nice car at
Yeah.
whatever age, especially if they're younger, that can influence people that are, especially my age, because you guys are old. Like we talked about this last video.
I'm definitely old.
People keep their cars in garages for like 6 months because they're not showing it anymore, and then
Yeah.
the gas bin. I mean, it's just sitting there.
Yep.
So you don't see those things. So I think that it is definitely hard to, with Houston, that we saw at shows, to be like, yeah, Houston does have to step it up, but I don't know where that starts, but I can see where there is a bit of disparity.
Big time.
Yeah.
If I have any credibility, and if you hang around me, you're probably not going to watch these podcasts because they watch other stuff. But I'm going to weave my message into other videos that I do so a broader community can see it. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you know Plain Jane and you've been around me and you walked around me and you felt my energy, you know I'm not judging anybody. Positivity, good energy, all day, every day.
Yep.
And I don't have anything bad to say about anybody. It just doesn't work. Like I just... And the cool thing is, I've been around like the supercar and hypercar guys.
Yeah.
It's funny. They're the same way.
Yeah, I just think
It's
people
interesting.
don't get to see that because, like you said,
They don't
people
come
like
outside.
people like drama. People like drama, and the ones that do come
nobody's
outside,
attracted to that.
yeah, people that do
Nobody
come
wants to be
outside that do
positive.
have those cars, they gain all this credibility. Like, look, he has this car and he's
Right.
coming outside, but these other people that are cool who aren't this particular way don't go. That's why I was like, it's important for older people. That's why I really like the guy with the S2K. When he said, I want to show these kids what a proper build looks like. I'm like, yeah, because nobody else sees it. If
Nobody
you don't
comes
show
outside.
your car
You
as
don't
this
come
cooler,
outside.
older guy that's basically like my parents' age,
Right.
they're never going to learn until they're your age.
We got to keep it up. Like I said, I was at a meet and my car got scratched. And I said, that's not that. You know, the funny thing, it made me go out the next weekend.
Yeah.
Because I don't, bro,
Listen, it
if you
doesn't have
think
to be
that's going to
perfect.
bother me,
Yes,
I
it's
couldn't
scratch.
care less. Like, I really could. Car
A
doesn't have
scratch
to
on
be
a wrap
perfect.
at that.
Yeah, on a wrap. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to stop me. I think that's part of it. Made me realize that people need to see, like, not only the cars, but the people that own them.
Yeah.
And they need to. I don't normally stand by my car because I think it's a little awkward when we're at but I think I'm going to start doing that just to engage with people. And talk to people and be approachable. And there's a few other people that I've already talked to about doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's important.
It's important. Like, we can't
important.
keep complaining about it.
Yeah, because you
And
just look
putting
like
disclaimers
grumpy old
before
men.
the videos that we put out there,
grumpy
right?
old men complaining, then supporting
Say,
the
"I ain't going out there
drama,
no
and it's like
meets."
that
It's
doesn't
weird.
make
It's
sense.
backward.
That doesn't make sense. And then you have other people that are trying to come to Houston, like we went to the car meet where it was like a call out, basically, or
Right.
car show was like a call out,
It
NRG
was.
a couple months ago,
Yeah.
and they're like, okay, Houston does have something, but
New York admittedly
WekFest was
lost.
like,
At the what she
no,
talking
thank
about?
you.
New York admittedly.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, right?
but you don't get to see that side.
Getting back to the WekFest show real quick, and we're going to do a quick little segment on our favorite builds right now, influencer builds. At that car show, there were 10 cars that I can name between Austin and Houston that are best in show cars that did not show up to WekFest.
Yep.
2 of them.
There were some that we see regularly that I was surprised weren't there.
Better built BMWs than mine by miles. Beyond SEMA level. Those
The M3?
cars, Tony's car.
The M3, that car is my favorite
The
car
E36.
ever since 2-3 years ago when I saw it at WekFest. And I've
Dude,
never
it's
seen it
beyond
again.
SEMA level. It's really like the cleanest E36
Favorite build I've ever
in
seen
the country
And I saw it once.
by far. And there's 2 in E36. There's another one in Endless Projects, Texas, that purple one, that violet one with the trunk set up. Just stupid. He wasn't there. And it may be scheduling stuff and stuff like that. But that's just 2 BMWs. I could keep going. Because Ant didn't come with the was it S14, S15, whatever it is, with the 2 JZ in it. That's the best in show car. So I think, of course, we can't always all the heavy hitters. And I think I'm a middleweight. Definitely not a heavyweight, but I'm a middleweight. Like, I can, those guys don't show up. It's no question who should be the best BMW at the show.
Right.
And I think there's times that my car, if I would open my hood and probably clean under the hood,
I was
it could
going
be
to say,
best in
like,
show,
people
but I
people
don't-
just, your
not
car
best in
just-
show, but they would consider the car. It would get
Right.
points. It would get
Yeah,
more points.
It would get more points
Yeah, it
because
would get
they
more
would
points.
know,
It wouldn't
like,
be
oh,
best in show,
it's
but it'd be
not
more points.
just
Right. It has
a
underhood
wrap
game.
bag,
It's
yeah.
titanium press up. And it's not about my car. But anyway, yeah, we want to talk. The respect all builds. I wish people would be more positive in life. And
I think my perspective is just that I can see why people aren't more positive and nice.
Totally.
Because there aren't people that have credibility or have these builds and complain, grumpy old men aren't coming to change the narrative, essentially.
Yeah, I like that. Change the narrative. We're going to try to. So tell me, what is your favorite influencer build right now? I think we're almost out of time. We got to be quick here.
I think right now I'll say Rad Dan.
All right, Dan. That's
He's a driver.
Super drifter,
he has
right?
Supra and Formula Drift. He has a lot of Supras. He has 2 that are like, he has like 4 or 5, but funny. He has 2, Big Blue and Baby Blue. I think one's like no nitrous, like 900 horsepower.
You talked about that on a previous podcast,
like
right? Because he built one for his wife because the 2.
Well, he built a C300 for his wife to drift, and Big Blue and Baby Blue were way too much.
Way too much power.
Because one's like a backup car for FD if he just totals the other one, which doesn't usually happen.
What makes you like his cars?
Basically, he just made a lot of videos about 2Js and he would break them down, and he kind of prefers the VVTi to turbo, which is interesting because that's not a popular opinion.
Right, because of the rods.
Because of the rods. It's like,
you mentioned that in the previous
podcast. I guess you could use the head if you put it on a non, but yeah. But I just watched his videos. He was very informative, and he just has really good energy. He's really laid back.
Chill guy.
Very, very laid back.
He did a whole bunch of videos with Chelsea.
Yeah, he did a whole bunch of videos with Chelsea.
I saw part of the Chelsea video where he was walking down talking about the different.
Roman Charpentier, Simon Olsen, and the guys that built his car. He's just really positive. And he thinks the same things. Like, he just wants people. He brings all his cars out. He always does burnouts. He lets people sit in them, does ride-alongs because he believes in, wanting to share this.
Like I said, I like my car being a touchable car.
It's that's what he was saying. He's like,
it's just a car.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's just
he doesn't care.
I was thinking, I watch a lot of YouTubers.
He watches more than I do.
I do. I have a whole profile
like
for
YouTubers.
Just YouTube
I just watch
stuff, right?
What is this? What is that?
It's tough between YouTubers and like influencers in general because that brings in like Instagram. I don't really follow anybody on TikTok, but there's a lot of Instagram guys that are humongous that don't have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, that don't have anything.
Couldn't care less about you. Mm-hmm. But they have like 500,000, followers on Instagram. So anyway,
right.
For just the sake of it, the one that piqued my curiosity the most recently, and unfortunately, it is not a build. It is a bot, but I think it's super cool.
Oh, okay.
Is Daily Driven Exotics just procured a Super Trofeo, real Huracan race car? Like,
I just saw that. It's black, right?
Yeah,
I just saw the video.
It's all carbon except for the doors.
Yeah.
Like, just the way it looks with the headlight. Because they built one with the street kit, like retrofitting the kit onto a street car. Mm-hmm. But just seeing the actual race car with like the Motec panel and the dash and the headlights and the tail. That's probably one of my goals.
Yeah, I saw a glimpse.
I would love to have a factory GT3 DTM race car. Just cause, but you gotta have a racing license. You gotta buy it secondhand like they did because factories want you to have a racing license and a real racing team.
Well,
shout out to Daily Driven Exotics. They're like the most hated on, but I will say they do some cool stuff. Like when you look at the twin turbo F12, the tire slayers that they keep building, but this one they got the Huracan Evo 2 kit. They got the race car now, the Huracan race car. I think they got some really good, and that they called it the 720 GTR, which blew up and then got crashed into. Yeah, I give them credit. They aren't doing it themselves, so I'm a similar pocket as them, but they come up with some cool ideas and partner with some good shops. Yeah. So
they had a vision.
They have my favorite builds right now. Like the most popular. There's other stuff, smaller stuff. Shout out to you, Tony. I don't think Tony watches my YouTube channel, but he's the one with the E36. And he's the one that showed me what a BMW show car should be.
That was crazy.
For sure.
Seen it once. Favorite build by far.
It's still my favorite. He's just sold it.
By far. Ooh.
Maybe it's 6 months ago or something like that, but he sold it. No. But it's an amazing car. We're out of time. We ran out. We were 30 minutes last time, and this Sony we're recording on turns off, so we probably need to stop talking.
Probably.
Flow of consciousness. Shout out to you. Good new content coming. Hang in there, yo. We got some good stuff coming. I signed some paperwork today, so it's going down. It better be good content.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. We'll still, the new stuff will be a little different, but we'll still be doing this stuff where it's just me and Tristan, where we're talking to you guys, but we're going to try to mix in some other stuff too. Grow the channel, grow the brand. Shout out to Plain Jane Cars. Shout out to all our followers, all 25 of y'all that's going to watch this video. I love you. We'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.